I think the first reaction is probably adapting to survive. So we're seeing land-based operators taking their business online.
Hello and welcome back to SiGMA TV. Now, as you can see, this is a slightly different setup to what we're used to as governments around the world are encouraging workers to work from home. Well, what impact could this have on the iGaming industry? Brincat joins me on the line to discuss. So Alan, thank you for joining me first of all.
Morning, Jessica. Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. Now, I want to start and take a look at things. In the short term, what kind of impact are you expecting COVID-19 and obviously the repercussions from that to have on the gaming industry?
So yes, on paper, it is a good recipe for the gaming industry to boom. I mean, there is no doubt that people are spending more time online. We've seen Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, they've all agreed to lower the streaming quality just to reduce the pressure on the internet infrastructure. I think the question now becomes, are people looking to spend just their time or also their money? I guess the longer this lasts, especially if unemployment increases, expect people to be more prudent with their spending. Putting aside the proportionate surge in online casino activity, the most notable increases seem to be in poker and bingo. So that tells us people might be looking for better value in terms of getting entertained for a longer duration and also more sustainably.
And that's an interesting point, is the kind of games that people and consumers are choosing to select based on what you said, time duration being a really important factor. When we look at the esports industry, I think that was something which the initial reaction was what would happen there. So what's your impressions of the esports industry now?
So I think what is happening around us at the moment will help accelerate certain phenomena we've been seeing. So there's no doubt esports will become more mainstream. I mean, we saw Formula One already announcing that the traditional races will be replaced with the esports equivalent. But also when it comes to casino, we're seeing the demand for live content, streamers on Twitch, YouTube, and other social platforms increasing. And this is bringing the casino games sort of more in fashion with the younger generation as well.
So you've mentioned there this shift online, and we're seeing more sites like YouTube and Twitch, potentially more younger users getting involved. Are we going to see more products being developed at the moment? Are we going to see more surges of innovation from the actual gaming providers?
I think it's a bit too early to see innovation, but we are blessed with a lot of creative minds in this industry, so there's no doubt that will happen. I think the first reaction is probably adapting to survive. So we're seeing land-based operators taking their business online.
And if we look at regulators as well across the board, so we are seeing, for example, the APPG, which has called on British gambling associations to actually limit the amount of spending per day to £50 per player. Are we going to start to see more regulators come in and enforce some rules just because we are in uncharted waters here?
Yes, this could become a factor. I saw a couple of days ago, in fact, the Latvian government suspended all their gaming licenses. I don't think it's a reason for alarm. I do see from a compliance point of view more governments being pressured to act, particularly ones which don't have a regulatory framework developed yet. We're talking about countries in Asia, Africa, Latam, both to collect more tax money, but also to prevent leakages from their economy. Also, another interesting point is seeing the KSA, the Dutch authorities coming out so strong when it comes to promoting online casinos and a germ-free, corona-free environment. I mean, it's expected to see them taking advantage of the closed brick-and-mortar operations, especially when considering this has been sort of long due. Land-based is still 85 to 90% of the revenue still belong to land-based. So it becomes a very delicate balancing act as well, even for online operators, because they are struggling in some cases, especially if their business is very sports-based, to keep the business afloat. But I think we also need to be more responsible and proactive, especially when it comes to player safety. So monitoring new customers or existing ones betting on new products, making sure they don't get carried away, just so we don't shoot ourselves in the foot.
And you mentioned there the strong percentage of players actually using land-based as opposed to online gaming services. Are you expecting this to actually cause a power shift? We're seeing more surge to online. Do you think that will continue after this is over?
So the shift has been very slow over the past few years. This will probably help accelerate it. Over time, land-based, things will come back to normal, these shops will reopen, but they could take some market share and people could play more comfortably from home, maybe a bit more of an anonymous environment as well. If operators innovate, maybe, I don't know, imagine playing casino games on your TV screen and these sort of things. And that could make it an interesting journey.
So we'll definitely have to wait and see how things play out. But thank you so much, Alan, for sharing your insights today. Always a pleasure to catch up. So thank you for your time and stay safe as well.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. That's all for myself and Alan. We'd love to hear how you found this segment. So share your thoughts with us.